Welcome back to the Anything and Everything Show. I am still your host, Rob Archuleta. I'm here with Dave Feemster. I don't think Dave needs an introduction, but Mentor of the Year, right, Dave?
Yeah, Rob, I'm really moved because it was a group of teenagers that made the decision to pick me, and some of them I really don't know. And it goes to show you that you never know who's watching, and it's always right to do the right thing, even when nobody's watching, because there's always somebody watching. And I didn't realize some of these young people were paying attention to what I do in the community, but it's a moving evening for me, Rob.
And I think people do know, Dave, just besides the Little Caesars Pizza, not like that's not enough. I mean, you help out with every nonprofit group that I've ever talked to. You've helped us out at the paintball tournaments. I mean, you're a great guy doing great things. What do you think about what these kids are doing in there?
Oh, I think they're challenging us as adults to say, you know what, we got to step up and lead by example. I mean, talk is cheap, but if we're drinking and partying and telling our kids not to party, what kind of a direction is that from us? So I think we got to look at our own lives as adults to say, what kind of a message are we sending to our young people? We may be saying, hey, please, drive safe, drink and drive, safe, watch what you drink. But really, I think we got to look in the mirror and say, am I living a life that's in a high risk of myself? And am I living an example to the young people that are watching us?
Let me put you on the spot for a second, Dave. What about when you were younger?
Well, you know what? I just had a pleasure talking in here, and my mother was killed when I was 15 years old. She was hit by a car, and she was legally drunk. She was an alcoholic. And when my mother got killed, my life got crazy because I was mad, I was sad. I couldn't figure out why this happened to me and my family. But it got real close to me that if I continue doing the things that I was doing, which was drinking and partying, that something is going to happen to me sooner or later. And I wanted to do something with my life, whether it was in hockey, business. I didn't know really what it was. But I wanted to keep clean to give myself a chance to live out my dreams. And so at 15 years old, maybe it happens at 18 or 20 to some people, but for me it was 15, and that's when I really cleaned up my act.
All right, Dave. So what did you think about the kid in there? And I'm not, trying to downplay what you just said. I just want to make sure we get it all in there.
Sure.
What did you think about the kid that was in there that said, we challenge the adults. It is their fault. Kind of saying that it is that, we see them do this and we see them do that. Do you think that's true? I mean, are the kids too young to be making their own decisions?
I think at some point you got to look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm 16 years old or I'm 17, whatever that age is. I think it's different for everybody. You got to be accountable for your own actions. And at some point you got to say, when that joint's passed to you, or the shot glass or the beer, you got to say, I got a dream. I got something to do with my life that has value. I'm not partaking in that. I'm getting out of here. And I'm changing my friends who I'm hanging out with. Because I really believe, Rob, if you don't change your friends, you're going to continue doing what they're doing. If it's bad behavior, you're going to follow that. So you got to change your friends to change the behavior, and that's not easy. It takes courage.
Right on, Dave. Thank you very much. I'm so glad you got another award to put on
Rob.
the fireplace. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Rob. Thank you. And there's always an exit, and you've got to take that exit when you got the opportunity. Sometimes people won't even... They'll make fun of you, they'll call you names, whatever it might be, but you know what? You got a future, you got a dream in your heart to do something with your life. And when you dabble in these activities, sooner or later it's going to catch up to you. On West Street we saw that. Judge Alexander mentioned 4 years ago, it was 96 miles an hour going on West Street and catapulted into a tree, killed 4 people. But the parents here, I think it doesn't happen in the White House, it doesn't happen in City Council, it doesn't happen in the county courthouse, it happens at home. I think that's the key, is the parents. We have to know where our children are. We have to hold them accountable and follow up where they're at every part of the day. And now we got cell phones. We can find them. We know where they're at, but we can find them pretty quick with our cell phones. But I am moved by the opportunity of being the Mentor of the Year. I really don't think of myself as a mentor. I just try to do the right things. And I think when we do the right things as human beings, we are held accountable for what we do, but God blesses us when we make right decisions.
I'm here with Wilito Gonzalez. All right, man. Awesome job. What could I say about what you guys were doing in there? What inspired you to get involved with this?
Well, I have lots of friends that have problems. I've had cousins and relatives that I've had some that have lost fingers, and so I've had cousins and older relatives that have died. So it affects me. My parents raised me to recognize this problem, so this is just a chance for me to finally actually do something.
So, what did you think about the turnout?
I liked it. I was actually expecting less, so I'm real happy that a lot of people actually showed up. So.
All right, let me ask you this, because I heard one of the girls come up to you and say, "The girls' cabinet is here, and she wants to know what you guys do on the weekends if you guys don't drink." What's your answer to that?
Well, me personally, see, I have a job, so I go to work, get home at 9 or 10. I watch a movie or play video games. So, and in between that, I hang out with my friends. We go hang out. We just hang out, watch movies.
So you guys don't need alcohol to have a good time.
No, we like to see that. We have a natural high and all that stuff. So,
A natural high and all that stuff. Do you ever see yourself drinking even when you're of age?
well, I may. When I'm 21, it's the right you get, and I have me and my parents. They every once in a while have a drink here and there. So, when I'm 21, I'll join them.
All right, and you're just not going to overdrink, right?
Oh no, I think it is something stupid to do. So, it's not something that applies to me. I don't look at it at all as anything fun.
Has it affected you in any certain way? I know you said you have friends that lost fingers and stuff, but has anything devastating happened that made you want to get to be a part of this?
Well, I wouldn't say devastating. It's more of just a culmination of things. Lots of things have happened, and I have a cousin whose liver's failing and all that stuff. So, I have cousins who do it all the time. I have friends who have lost their parents to it. So it's sad.
It's something that's touched just about everybody you know.
Yeah, basically.
All right, well, you guys did a great job. Thank you very much for everything, and thank you.
First off, I'd like you to look at these advertisements. What do they show? They show the things that make society continue. It makes things look cool. The Miller Lite ad here shows the nectar of the guys, making it seem that you have to drink this in order to become a man. It's a rite of passage. The Captain Morgan ad and the Viva Cuervo ad, they show off sexuality, which is a huge play amongst teenagers with the hormones and all that they're going through. Now, when this happens in Pueblo, it happens every day, every night. Right now, it's happening. There's parties at people's houses. There's after school functions, dances. They're drinking before. They're drinking after. They're even at school.
One of the big things when we talk to the kids and stuff is, what do we have to do as kids? That's one of the big things. This is the lack of things to do in Pueblo. We look at it a little bit different. There are things to do in Pueblo. Dave talked about one of them, pizza in a movie. Not everything has to revolve around a party. It, to me, is a little disappointing when we get to some of these parties, and I go to a lot of them at night. I may work in the daytime and catch out at night when, I'm the designated driver for these kids that are underage drinking. This is, that's difficult for me to understand because you shouldn't be doing it all. It's us as parents. I think we're the ones failing the kids if we're not giving them something to do other than drink. If we're ignoring our kids and we're not involving ourselves in our kids' life, my big thing with my kids, I know, love to camp, hit the mountains and go camping. I think it's us as parents, as we raise our kids, to know what we can take our kids, what path we can take them on that will detract them from wanting to go on the path of drinking. That's a parental responsibility. If we fail in that responsibility, who are the kids going to turn to get, that kind of guidance? They're going to turn to their friends. And if their friends are the ones that are drinking, that's the path they're going to go to.